What's going on, everybody? Jesse here, and unfortunately summer's about to hit. If you know anything about summer, uh, it's a great time to grow unless you like leafy greens. Don't even know if you can see them. They're sad. It's about to be in the 90s in a couple days. You can see my spinach behind me. That's going to bolt here in a few days as well. If you like leafy greens and you live in the heat, you're kind of screwed. But there are things that you can do to make sure you stay in leafy greens for the season. You just got to know what to do. There are plants that will grow. Now we're only going to focus on just one plant because I think personally, I think it's the best of the best, and that's Swiss Chard. So let's give these guys a break and go over to the Swiss Chard bed. Welcome to the Swiss Chard patch, as I should call it. Now there are beets in here as well, but for the purpose of this video, they're actually interchangeable. Just that you're not eating the bulb of Swiss Chard, you're simply eating the leaves. Now I like Swiss Chard leaves. They are a little bit different than your traditional lettuces. They're less crisp and more chew to the leaves themselves, but I find that they work remarkably well as a replacement for leafy greens like your salad greens and things like that when it just gets too hot. And I live in Zone 5B, Iowa, and when it gets this hot, I can't grow salad greens. There's no way. Yeah, I might as well live in the tropics at this point. A couple days ago, we had our Iowa monsoon, the first Iowa monsoon. If you don't know what that is, it's just absolute downpour. You wouldn't think we get that much rain, but good God, we do. And it ups the humidity, but we just can't grow anything like that. But behind me, as you can see, I need to go through and weed it a little bit, but it's doing fine. It's doing fine on its own. I barely have to water this patch because look at it. But it's a good leaf. Let me pluck one. It's actually absolutely beautiful if you look at it. I have a couple different varieties of Swiss Chard in here, also beets, but this one is definitely a beet. But let me grab a Swiss Chard one. Let's see. Oh, there we go. There's a perfect one, perfect example of one of the Swiss Chards I have growing. It's gorgeous. It's got a firmness, a meaty texture, but it tastes absolutely fine. Now I actually do prefer to take the actual stem out of it because it is quite large. So unless you're sauteing it up, it's just a bit much to chew. It reminds me slightly of celery, but without the celery flavor. But it just grows, and it will grow and grow even in the heat. Some people have told me that it gets a little bitter during the summertime. I really haven't noticed, mostly because I add dressings and other things on top of it. My salads have never been simply greens. Like, I'll add other vegetables to it, blackened salmon, some sauteed chicken, anything like that, and the flavors add up, and it balances everything out. But it is, like I said, easy to grow. It thrives in the heat. It thrives in the cold. This could be your one green that you plant in the garden and just keep there. It will do everything you need it to do. And as with most things, it will survive in the frost. So you could plant this in the spring like I did and harvest it all the way until your first frost, and you'll be perfectly fine. You'll be knee deep in greens all year long, and that's a great thing to do. That's a great thing to be able to do. So yeah, I recommend growing Swiss Chard. Have a good one.